Hi everyone, I'm Richika Bindra, and this week on #NoFilter, we are talking about teens traveling and blogging. Stay tuned.
Hi everyone, welcome to our show, #NoFilter. Today we decided to change it up a bit, so instead of Rishika introducing everyone, I would introduce everyone today. So I'm Nikta Travian. Here we have our guest panelists, Mark and Matthew, and our lovely, very lovely host, Rishika.
Hi, I didn't pay you to say that. I'm just going to say that to all my viewers watching. So I like to introduce a very special guest today. I think this is a great topic. It's really young, it's fresh, it's something that's taken over in the last few years in a huge way. We have with us Hunar Chandok. She is from Canada, Toronto-based, a really upcoming new travel blogger. She's just launched a new blogging website. We're going to talk to her about it. We're going to talk to her about the passion of traveling. And she started out her journey as a teen, so I'm really excited to get into it with you. So welcome.
Thank you so much for having me on the show. I'm really excited to talk about this topic that I'm so passionate about.
Amazing. Okay, so tell me, first of all, you've been traveling for how long?
For as long as I can remember. I think I started traveling ever since I was a teen, so around 17 years old. Yes.
Okay. So most people, when they think about traveling, they think about, okay, I want to see all these great places in the world. Where did you suddenly wake up and be like, okay, I want to go to exotic places, or like not the typical, like all-inclusive to Bahamas, or like Florida Disney World? Like, where did it emerge, this passion?
For me, it was never about a place that I wanted to visit. It was more so about the kind of experience that I wanted to have. And obviously you have your parents who don't want you to go anywhere exotic because they're scared about your safety. So I found a program called Explore Program, which all teens in Canada can apply for. And you can go to any part of Canada and learn French. So I always thought it was really nice to learn a new language, especially being in Canada. French is so useful. So that's kind of where I started my traveling experience when I was 17 years old, going to that program in British Columbia, where I stayed for 2 months. And from there, it really just stemmed because I loved my experience. I was really out of my comfort zone, and I learned so much. And from then, it just kind of blew. And then I just kind of, every year I was going somewhere.
You got addicted to kind of needing to leave and travel?
Basically.
So you touched on a really good point. Most of the time when you're a teenager, like let alone traveling, like our parents don't let us go out clubbing till like 2:30, because I remember I used to always get called by like 1:30 and I'm like, really, Mom? Like clubs, and because I'm from Montreal, right? Clubs are like open till 3, like I just entered. So forget like going traveling, just let alone like 10 kilometers is an issue. So how can teens work with that dynamic where you want to travel and you want to explore? I know the program's a great idea. How else did you kind of emerge them into being okay with this?
For me, the way to convince my parents was really about, you know, I'm doing this for my education, I'm doing this for my future, I'm doing it for my resume, I'm doing it for my career, because we live in such a competitive world today, and, you know, everybody's getting good grades, and everybody's doing all these extracurricular activities, their volunteer hours, so how do you really differentiate yourself from the other candidate? If I want to get into a really good university, you have to do supplementary application forms.
Right.
How am I really going to differentiate myself? So that's kind of what I used to convince my parents to let me go, and I started in small steps. So I was really just going across Canada. Canada's a very safe country. I was living in a university. There was adult supervision. So they were kind of really okay with that idea. I had to push them a little bit, but they understood where I was coming from. And then they saw the change that I had in me, the positive effect that I had in me, and then they became more lenient towards letting me go next year and the year after.
And I like the fact that you said you have to ease them into it. So you started with a program, you started with somewhere that's safe, it's within Canada, within parameters.
And I was not ready to go somewhere exotic for my first time either, right? So even I wanted to do something that I was comfortable with as well.
So guys, have you guys ever thought about traveling at your age that you guys are at now? Has it been something you want to do, or would you consider it as a passion, or would you do it like she said? Like, I know a lot of people think maybe for their like universities and stuff, it's something that gives you an edge, because, you know, when you sit in for that interview and someone's like, okay, well, you have great grades and you've done, you know, 30 volunteer hours, what do you bring that's different to the table? And then you have sort of this world experience behind you.
Well, obviously it's a little bit intimidating, right? Because you're used to being in the same place all the time with your family if you travel, and then going somewhere by yourself, a new place never experienced before, can be very intimidating. So it takes a lot of confidence, and that's something you really want to do if it's something that you know you're going to go out of your comfort zone and try something all by yourself for the first time, right?
You know, for me, like, I really want to travel, and like I've picked a career path where I want to have that opportunity
What's
to do
your career
it. So
path?
I want to go into journalism.
Very
I want to do
cool.
sports journalism, so like even going across the world and stuff
To
to
cover
sports.
games?
That would be amazing for me. No, but the thing about like traveling and whatnot, I think it is like traveling and seeing new places is knowledge. Like you gain a certain amount of knowledge from school and from like your parents and other people, and like you learn different things. But I think traveling is such a great way to do that as well, you know, because you meet new people, you go to new places, you see new things, and you gain new perspectives on life, and that's so important to have.
And as she said, you're out of your comfort zone, right? You're doing something that's out of the norm. So you kind of learn about yourself along the way because you see, how would I act in this?
Exactly.
You would never learn those situations here.
Yeah.
And I never understood this concept, but my best friend is somebody who's huge into traveling, and her thing was always, I'm like, why do you always want to travel? Like every time we watch, like, I'm traveling, and she wants to go alone.
Yeah.
She doesn't want to go with anybody. She's the most happiest when she's alone. She's like going to Greece and Europe this summer, and I'm like, by yourself? She's like, yeah, because she's like, not only do I learn about the place I'm going, but I learn about who I am.
Exactly.
Because I'm interacting by myself. I'm opening myself up, and she's like, every time I come back, it was like a, you know how people take a retreat? She's like, I literally feel more confident.
Yeah.
And I think that's a really cool idea.
Yeah.
Where have you traveled that you were like, okay, this was my favorite traveling spot?
It's so hard to pick a favorite. I've had so many different experiences. I've been to over 23 countries.
Oh my God.
But I've lived in 5 different cities. So I've lived in Victoria, British Columbia, Montreal. I've lived in Peru. I've lived in Singapore. I've lived in Mumbai.
23?
Yes.
Oh my, okay, so can you give me like 3 favorites that I was like, okay, Hunter, you have a one-way ticket, you can go to all these 3.
It was
would
never
be
about
a
the
round trip, but-
place. It was never about the place. It was always about the experience that I had there. So Peru was one of my favorite experiences just because I was living with a Peruvian family
So cool.
and I was working at an orphanage, and I was there for about 2 months. I didn't know a single person when I went, and it was just this family took me in as if I'm their own daughter, you know, and they treated me like their own. They would wake up at 6 in the morning and give me fresh juice, and at home I never sit at the table at breakfast and have a conversation with my parents, but the family that I was living with, that's what they did. They would wake up every morning, have breakfast together, and then head out for work. So you learn these things, and when you come home, your parents will see that difference. And I learned how to live a more simple life, because when you're here, we're always on our phones, on our iPads, on the computers. Over there, I didn't have those luxuries. So it was more so about interacting and talking to people and making new friends who are of different cultures, who like different things. So when you come back, you're open to everybody. You're not really, oh, you know, when you judge someone, when you see them, that just kind of goes away.
Right, how long were you with the family for?
2 months.
So you were basically staying with them while you were
I
at
was
the
living with
orphanage.
them, and they didn't. It was free. It was completely free.
And this is a great idea too, right? Like
Yes.
if you want to travel and like, you know, let's say you said you want to do something for 2 months, like that's expensive.
That's expensive, and that's the thing. People think that travel is something that is so expensive, but really, there's
you know
so
how.
many. If you know, there's so many programs out there, especially if you guys are going to university now. There's a program called Isaac, which is great, which lets you work abroad. That's what I did Peru through, and your university sometimes even pays for your flight tickets. And this family, you're given room, and you get all your meals covered as well.
Hold
And
that
it's
thought, Hunter. We're
yeah.
going to be right back on the break. We're going to get into this program with her, and we're also going to talk about how you can be safe while you're traveling. Hi everyone, welcome back. Before the break, we were talking about teens traveling and how you can be safe along this journey of exploring the world. So Hunter, before the break, you were talking to us about a program. Could you go into detail?
Yeah, it's a program called Isaac. So when you get into university, you can ask, and every university campus should have a chapter available. And you can go and use your summer, because you get 4 months off during university. And you can use that time to kind of venture out into any part of the world that you want and work abroad. So it was a great way to really get out there and use that time and differentiate yourself versus other candidates who are working locally. So I went to Peru a year and a half ago, and I stayed with a Peruvian family for 2 months, and I was working at orphanage teaching kids English.
So did you do that in the summer?
Yes.
Okay, so I guess if you're in school, that's the good time to do it, right?
Exactly,
Because then
yeah.
you're not like hindering your education.
When you're in university, you get 4 months off, and I just
Take
do something,
advantage.
take advantage. You're never going to get those 4 months again in your life once you graduate.
So I want to go into this idea of safety. So,
Yes.
you know, for example, you're going across the world, you're staying with a family you don't know. And regardless of that, if I just want to travel on my own, what are some general good, safe tips that I guess you could say, because you've done 23 places now? So
When you're traveling, especially when you go through a program, it's great because they filter everything for you. So the
Okay.
family that I lived in, they filter, they interview them, they have other students who were living with them. So family-wise, you don't have anything to worry about. If you let them know that I don't like living with this family, they'll let you live with another family. So there's always that option. And it's great because, you know, you have a mom, you have a dad, you have siblings there. So it just feels like a family just like it is at home. And they really interview them. So it's never about that. And they help you navigate around the city. So the mom that I was living with, she actually took me, she went with me on the bus and dropped me off to my workplace on the first day because I didn't know Spanish.
Yeah,
and
you're
she,
like,
she
where do
gave
I
me
go?
she gave me bus money because I didn't convert my money. So you know, and that's really what it is. It's super safe, and you meet locals who take you around. And when you're with a local, people don't really talk to you. They don't really say anything, and it's actually really, really safe. And just don't do anything stupid. I think that's really like.
So basically,
don't
I
put
can't
yourself in
send
a
you
si-
both for like no filter to cover the Rio Olympics.
Yeah, just
In August, you guys can go to Rio basically to cover the Olympics.
I
think we could
I'm a
do
little
the Olympics.
concerned.
I think we could.
Are you sure you guys can go cover
the
for no
sports
filter
journalists
there?
could do it.
Okay.
Yeah, we could.
Okay, I'm just checking. If you guys can take good tips, we can do it.
All right.
I know you had a question
Yeah.
before the break about co-ops.
Yeah, so I know a couple people who, you know, are in university and they're doing co-op abroad.
Yes.
Do you recommend that, or are there any fallbacks on it or anything like that?
I do recommend doing a co-op abroad, and that's because we live in a very global society. So because of technology, every major company is expanding worldwide. So you might be transferred from Toronto to another part of the world. So you have to be able to adapt to that kind of an environment. And not only that, if you're doing it during your, again, it's about differentiating yourself. You're going to learn so much, and the skills that you're going to get while you're doing your co-op, it's not just the work skills. You're gaining like communication skills, transferable skills that you can take with you from job to job that you don't necessarily get when you're working in Toronto, because you're still going to hang out with the same friends. You're still going to be talking to the same people. You're not really doing something that's taking you out of your comfort zone, and you're not really learning anything new besides just the job requirements that it's there. So
Now I'm going to ask you the really tough question. What about funding? Like, okay, I'm 18, I work part-time, you
Yeah.
know, at a local mom and pop, I
Yeah.
don't know, ice cream parlor.
yeah.
I have some money saved up.
Yeah.
Like, for example, I want to go to India.
Yeah.
So, like, when I search these sort of trips, they're like $1,500 just a ticket.
Yeah.
So, if I'm going to go, let's just say for 2 weeks even,
Yeah.
how am I going to afford not only, like, the ticket, but eating there? And, like how do you budget? Because you've done it so much.
So it's the budget-wise. So with the programs, what's great about it is your accommodation is going to be covered.
Okay.
Your food is covered. If you do the Isaac program, your university will pay for your flight as well. It's really just your spending money.
So that's amazing.
Another thing you can do if you're really strapped on cash is stay with a distant relative that you don't really know about. Maybe you have an aunt in Spain who has her own winery, you know? Like, you never know. So ask around. You might really stay with a distant relative. That's what I did when I was in Mumbai. And then you get an internship in that country and get a part-time job, save up, and that's what I did. I used to have 2 part-time jobs when I was in high school and university to save up for it, you know, and it works out. It's never about the money. Yeah, never let that stop you from traveling. I took OSAP when I studied abroad, so.
So if you want to make it work, you can.
Yeah, oh, definitely. I didn't have any money to travel. I did it on my own, yeah.
Have you guys ever wanted, is there one place in the world if you could travel, you would? Like if I could give you one ticket?
That's hard.
Because I'm a genie too.
I don't know. I'm not too creative, but one of my life goals is to travel every single state in the U.S. You know,
That's pretty
all of
cool.
them.
That is.
There's a
Road
lot of
trip.
them, so hopefully I can do. I've done like 7 or 8 so far, so I got a lot more to go.
Okay, but
Hopefully I'll
that's such
do
a
it
cool
one day.
idea. How many
Yeah.
people can say they've gone all over the states?
I know, right?
All I go to is like Vegas and Woodbury in New York and come back. Like, that's the only education I have is the deals at the outlet malls. Is there a place you'd ever want to travel in the world?
I don't know. I couldn't tell you because I'm into like the whole like mountain and like wilderness and thing, but I also like the cities and whatnot. So I don't really have like a specific place. I would kind of prefer to just do like everything and just kind of see what I like from that.
I think I would be more of someone who would go to China or something. Because I love like somewhere where it's like always alive and, you know, a different
Busy
culture, busy place, you know.
You want to get lost in the crowd?
Yeah,
So you should go to
and the
music
culture is
festivals.
really
I'm kidding.
appealing to me. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Hunter, I have a question for you.
Yes.
So traveling has become a huge craze. People do it. It's educational. It's great. We've talked about all of that. There's a new wave of journalism which is called teen blogging and travel teen blogging.
Yes.
And I know that you're a travel blogger. Can you tell me a little bit about the blog you're launching? It launches tomorrow. And what your goals were, what your ambition was, and why did you want to do it?
So I always wanted to start blogging ever since I started my travels, but I never really did it because I'm like, who's going to read my blog?
Okay.
What if I fail? Rejection? What if why is she writing a blog? Who's going to read it? All these questions are always going to go in your mind. And now I just, you know what, if I don't do it now, I'm never going to do it. And I missed out on all those opportunities of writing about all those travels, right? Which I am still doing now, but it's different, right? So it's just it's important to put something down on a blog because, again, you get yourself out there. So everybody Googles your name. That's the first thing somebody's going to do when they meet you. So when somebody Googles your name, what's going to show up? Your blog is going to show up. And it says something about you. It says who you are, what you are. Employers see that. People see that. And it makes you a storyteller. Traveling, blogging, it really makes you a storyteller.
There's a dimension to your personality that's different from the standard.
And it adds to who you are. And it's so important to have a good and strong online presence in today's world.
So how long have you been taken to like craft this blog? Because I know it's going live tomorrow. So how long was the process?
I started in April, and just to kind of get it going, I went on a meditation retreat that kind of triggered a whole different thing, and I'm just like, you know what, it's now or never. So I kind of went for the past month and a half, and I've been working like crazy to just get it live and get it up there. And a lot of my friends and family have already seen it, and they always told me, you need to write a blog. You need to write a blog about your travels. And I never listened to them. I finally did it, and it was fun. And blogs are actually free. You can just go on so many different websites and just create a blog. You don't have to pay for it. And pictures, your smartphones are so good these days. It takes great quality pictures. So you really don't really have anything to stop yourself from starting one besides yourself.
So let's say you're a teen like a teen traveler. You've traveled all these great places, and now you want to go into blogging. Is it too late to kind of do a retrospect kind of story of it with pictures?
Never. I don't think it's ever too late. If you want to do something, you do it. Because when you're going to grow older, you're always going to look back and be like, what if I? What if I? And that what if is always going to be in the back of your mind, and that's never going to satisfy you.
Okay. On the other side of the break, we are going to talk about a little bit more about her blog and how you can make money eventually by being a blogger. Hi everyone, welcome back. On our last segment, we are talking with Hunter Chandok about her blog and some more tips if you want to become a travel blogger or any type of blogger actually and actually generate revenue. So Hunter, I totally forgot to ask you the most important question.
Yes.
Can you give me the name of your blog? I know it's going to be on our website and on the screen for our viewers to see and visit. So tell me about the name of the blog.
So my blog is called novicesoul.com, and a novice, the name came about because I was just trying to see what should I name it, and I said novice because a novice is somebody who's a beginner. We all start off as a beginner. I'm starting off as a beginner. We're beginners for the rest of our lives. And you have to take the first step. And this blog is about taking that first step to create a dream life that you've always wanted. And that's kind of where the name came from.
I really, really like the name. I think it's a really genuine and a cool start. So does that mean I'm a novice TV host?
Yeah. Everybody's a novice.
Oh, thank you. See? This is what happens when you have a good panel. They just boost your ego. Okay, so are you going to be recapping some of the places you've been, or are you sort of starting fresh? You're just doing the next places you go?
So my blog, because I've grown a lot since, I was a teenager, so the blog is more about lifestyle design, travel, and personal growth. Perfect. So I've learned a lot of things through my travels. So I'm going to have travel guides on there, but I'm also going to have career recommendations, how to live that dream life, because traveling is not for everybody.
Yeah.
So what's the other person going to do? And it's more about getting out of that comfort zone, whether it's traveling, whether it's going in a different career path, whether it's quitting your job and starting your own business. It could be literally anything, and that's really what the blog is all about.
I know a lot of bloggers are generating revenue from this. So, and a lot of people had tweeted when we said we're going to do in travel and blogging, they said, like, I want to be a journalist, I want to write, I want to blog, but I also want to travel. How can you eventually, I guess in the long term, and maybe your blog is not for that purpose, but for people that do want to create a blog that they can generate revenue, how would you kind of go about that?
So travel blogging is huge, and any type of blogging you can generate. People have made blogging into a full-time career, but that takes time. You have to have content that people want to listen to. You have content that people want to talk about. You have to be helping people. So if you take that, okay, I'm going to start blogging just to make money, it's never going to work that way. You have to do it because it's something that you love doing. You're doing something on the side, and eventually it will get to that point where people are calling you and asking you to, do interviews and, go to this place. They'll give you a ticket to an exotic country. Oh, okay, go blog for me about that. Or it's about this sports event is happening. Okay, can you come and cover that for me? So never go into it for the money, because I don't think that's ever going to make you successful. And you're always going to be disappointed.
Your purpose isn't genuine.
Yeah, your purpose isn't genuine, and you're not really there to help people out, and you're not authentic anymore. So,
go ahead. I know you have a question.
Yeah. So I actually personally have a YouTube channel,
Okay.
and I post vlog videos and all that.
Okay.
Do you think it has the same effect as blogging? Like,
I think it goes hand in hand. So when you have a blog, it's really great to have a YouTube channel because it helps with getting your blog shown on Google searches. So keep doing your vlogs because that's going to help people because people love watching videos. And not a lot of people enjoy reading. So the more videos you can make, the better. So use that as a way to integrate that into your blog and post those videos onto your blog and vice versa.
Are you going to do sort of like promos where you're traveling and do like sort of a YouTube?
Yes, I'm going to be doing a lot of videos. I'm a little nervous to be videotaping, but it's something that I have to do, and I know people love watching videos.
Yeah.
So do I. So I'm definitely going to be vlogging and all my travels.
So we're
and
giving you
adventures.
good like TV camera experience now. You won't be
You
nervous
definitely are. Yeah.
for your thing. Okay,
Definitely.
that's cool. I have a question for you. Do you feel like there's a stereotype that women travel more than men, or do you think it's the opposite?
I mean, I think they might travel for different reasons. Like you said, you travel around America to go to different
But
malls.
I have a purpose. I go for shopping.
But that's
It's very
you
important.
travel for shopping. I mean, me personally, I definitely don't travel for shopping. I travel for cool experiences. I travel to see new places, and I don't think there's a gender bias on that. But I mean, I think it's everybody that has a different reason for them to travel, or a different reason for them not to travel.
I don't think Hunter is going to want to travel with me because she's going to be like looking at all these exotic places in Fiji, and I'm be like,
You gotta
where's the
stop
next
that.
mall
No,
in Fiji?
we're not shopping.
No, but it's okay. You can go to like the mountains in Fiji and crop me in, and like I can go to the mall for you in Fiji. Yeah, we'll just connect.
Yeah, we'll connect.
But that'll be cool because we can talk about our different experiences. My experience in an indoor mall in Fiji and your
No,
experience
that is,
in a great island.
that is not what I'm promoting at all. I'm not talking
Listen,
about
that's an
traveling
experience
shopping.
too. I'm just saying, as a potential traveler, this could be an
No.
experience too. Okay, I tried, guys. I tried to.
No.
like traveling individually. Like you can
Do
do
all the
whatever
things
you
you
want.
want.
You don't have to be on
relying
other
someone
person's
else.
schedule, and I like traveling alone. It's fun. Like you do stuff that you would never normally do, and I like to travel for longer periods of time because that's when you actually get to know a place and know the culture and know the people.
Have you ever had a really funny story where you traveled and like, okay, you know, you missed your flight or like you ran out of
Oh,
money and
so
then you had
many
to like
times.
call your sister or your friend or your cousin and be like, I don't want to tell mom and dad.
It's
like,
never gotten
e-transfer
that
me.
far, but I've definitely had a lot of missed flights
Okay.
before. But it's okay, it happens, and you learn from it, and you don't do it again. But they're usually really helpful, and they put you on the next flight, so it's not a big deal.
Do you recommend that if somebody wants to get into this, should they take journalism or it's not necessarily something they have to take?
You can do anything.
Okay.
You know, I studied business as my undergrad.
Cool.
You can do anything and you can blog about it, and that's the beauty of it. There's so many different types of bloggers, and the more niche it is, the better, because you're going to be more specific. So if you want to do sports journalism, you know, it's all, you know, you're going to have followers who are really into sports journalism. So you can literally start a blog with any career that you choose.
And I wanted to ask you, because I asked them, do you think traveling is more like something males do or females? Because I think you've traveled so much that you could maybe make
It's the
that
same
judgment.
thing.
Okay.
I have never seen a difference. Whereas, you know, you hear a lot of blogs about female solo traveling because
Yeah.
that's the new thing. Because everybody's like, okay, a woman should never travel alone.
Right.
It's
So
not
it's an
like that. Every
empowerment-based
country is super safe, and there's a lot of other travelers and backpackers who are there with you. You meet so many people along the way, so that's why female solo travel, you see a lot of them on the blogs, because a lot of women are afraid to travel because of everything you hear in the news and the media. But it's very safe.
And you know what I think is cool is that in our times today, things have changed. Like, as you said, it's sort of something now, women are not that afraid to travel alone.
Yeah.
But also, it's not as expensive. Like, back in our parents' day, it was like, hey, you have to travel, you stay in like a 4-star hotel because you don't want bed bug bites. And, you know, you go eat at the great restaurants, at the tourist places. And
Yeah.
now, you know, you can Airbnb it. And these places are beautiful.
Beautiful,
Like,
yeah.
I was just doing it. I was researching for the show. And I was like, let me hit an Airbnb. And it's like, it's stunning. And I'm like, I don't want to stay in a hotel.
I stayed in hostels for
Airbnb is
$4 a
beautiful.
night. Yeah.
There's some such nice places. Airbnb?
Airbnb is awesome.
Do you guys don't know what Airbnb is? Okay, let the traveler educate you on this.
No, okay, so Airbnb is people literally renting out their houses and their spaces. It could be a room, it could be an entire apartment, and it's way cheaper than getting a 4-star hotel. There's so many hostels. I remember staying for like $4 a night in Malaysia. So there, and it was a really nice place too. So,
And they're
yeah.
actually like, they're not always there, like if you stay in their house.
They're not
It's like
there,
you
yeah.
stay people's houses.
You can stay at
Right,
people's houses,
which I think
very
is really,
safe.
really cool.
Yeah, and they
All
give
right,
you, like, local
everybody.
tips.
We have to close this amazing show. I wish I could keep on going, but check out her blog, and for any more travel tips, do check out her website and our website. Thank you.